Okay, I guess this is working. So, I noticed that OBS uses like 20% of my Apple M4 Max GPU if it's just idle, which apparently is just related to doing the preview in there. Um, Although it continued to a little bit past when I was recording, so I don't know about that. And this is probably bad. I have this video running all the time, so that's probably it too. Have like Chrome open with the actual stream to see if I get the stream. So anyway, I guess we can pause that. That'll probably help. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I guess that's, yeah, the YouTube video doesn't play, obviously, when I'm not streaming. So that's cutting it down a little bit, too. The video playback was, I guess, recording. Whatever. Um, okay. So anyway, still on this. I didn't get anywhere yesterday or I didn't have any genius ideas of how this should actually work. Um, I want to. The certificate shouldn't be tied to a username. I don't think. Although it's kind of interesting if it was, maybe. I mean, do I. Or it would not the username, but tie it to the user ID, I guess. And then it's just right in there. So that means you don't have to do anything at all with the uh this the whole session thing where I was linking to the ID. You just wouldn't have to do that at all. It would just be straight away in the certificate. The user ID shouldn't change. Well, that's not entirely true. Um, because at some point you're also going to have to rotate these certificates. And you want to be able to have multiple certificates going to the same user ID. But at the time that you create the certificate, do you know the user ID? And you can't really, I would think, because you don't know the user ID in the new user case. So when is an actual new user created? If Oh, I got this movie Q on. It's like a 70s movie. Q, The Winged Serpent is the movie. Although it is just listed as Q. Um, it's fucking crazy. It's pretty good. Yeah, 72. But it's kind of interesting that there's like sort of this regular sort of drama movie stuff going on, and then there's this like there's also this fucking dragon thing. Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty good. And it's kind of impressive for a low budget and the special effects at the time. Anyway, um, so let's just think about the straightforward, simple thing first. And that means it's, oh, I've got my CA certificate already configured on the machine. I may have done both. Um, so, oh, I guess I can just click this at any time and it's going to create a new one. Anyone using this file can see down. What? Why? Where are you putting the fucking downloads? What? That's not. This is not accurate, is it? I mean, it's in my personal downloads directory. Why would somebody else be able to see this? What? 1 kilobyte. Uh, I think this is where you can't actually click on that because everything is stupid, and you have to go into. God, what the fuck was that? Buried. Oh, nope, that's wrong. It's not that. That's the CA. You gotta go to what? I mean, local certificates and your certificates. No, makes no sense. So you gotta go all the fuck. Yeah, we gotta remove that. I guess. What do you really do about that anyway? Oh, yeah, we're deep in the how do you create a new user part. This is still kind of shit snacks. Um, I guess it's just we're gonna make it a hex and that'll be fine. This this set of just random characters looks weird. off-putting for some reason that I think a basics or a hex thing doesn't. Probably because it's just more common or something. So now I have two certificates and I'm here and wait, why did it ask me again? Whatever. Hmm. What? In this movie, David Carradine's character just said, I've got to take my birth control pill and walked out of it. Like, I don't. Was that supposed to be serious? It's not like a super future movie or anything. Okay, so whatever. So you definitely can create and add a certificate. So really, I just need to be writing some docs in here, or I need to be creating this page that describes what has to happen to help me document what's supposed to happen. It's more text than I usually want. This will be kind of interesting. So, oh, right. Yeah, this is the gist of it. On new users. This is going on here. Session. So from that, this needs to be the application level because there's other stuff. So I don't think that's actually. Oh, I think it should have the random 64-bit number that is the name. New. This is doing the thing when it's sticking in the session, but hmm, um, I don't know. Is there any fucking point at all to having a password for this? Like, I think the general argument is that you just don't need to have this at all. So it happens. Um, a name, add. Oh, I want this. Random. I don't remember what the thing is. Oh, iced tea? What the fuck? Oh, there we go. That seems, yeah, why did I go through so much about that? So, that's an interesting question. So, we're just putting in the name. Although I think there's a serial number or something. Yeah. That you set. It's already a random number. Um, oh yeah, that's different though. So I'm still. Wait, what the fuck? What? Wait, this is a fucking method. What the fuck? That's just casting that to a fucking it's casting the function pointer to an integer. Shit. Why is that allowed without that should require special because it's supposed to be this. So like if you look at oh, I don't why does this keep doing that? So uh serial number 00C3. Although I guess it's gonna be different because of randomization for the yeah 00C0 BA3C. Yeah, I mean I mean I assume there's like, you know, whatever address randomization stuff going on. So you're not gonna get functions to be in the same place every time. But so I think they would all be in that same sort of zone. Like you're never the first number would always be zero because you're not gonna use over 48 bits, I think. So I don't know, that's funny, I guess. What am I doing? Stop doing any of that. So this there's gotta be a thing for that, right? Fuck. It's the whole thing where it's like, yeah, you'd like to explicitly fix that. I need to what the fuck? Yeah, this has got all kind of other changes already. Oh, well, it's the new coding. Okay, move on. I can't believe that bug though. Bug from casting a function to a pointer accidentally, well, instead of calling the function. Why am I cast? Oh my God. Is that, what the fuck is that? Yeah. Yeah. So I think I had this and this wouldn't compile. And I was like, oh, okay, why is this being fucked up? Because it's, wait, what's going on? Oh, that's just not even correct code at all. You gotta actually include the blob. Duh. But I think, oh, no, I think I'm wrong. Oh, yeah, so I had this, and I think it got a compile error. I didn't really pay attention to this, and I thought, what the fuck? Why is my uint 64 not going whatever? I just totally missed the part that, like, oh, this is supposed to be a function, which I guess if you were like, you shouldn't call functions that way. So I just totally botched that. But it's like, it's like the bug I ran into with the other thing with the uh yeah. What's the total oh God, I gotta not get distracted by that. Yeah, whatever. I mean, it's fucking bullshit. Um, so what am I doing here? Got to create the new clients. I think that, did I get the client auth thing? Yeah. Um, what am I doing here? So now we'll actually get a random number for the serial number, but that's different anyway. So the question is, um, maybe that's a more interesting question actually is, yeah, I think I've made a mistake. fuck's he gonna go? Okay, so I guess what I was thinking was my general idea is that you could have multiple certificates tied to a user account and whatnot. But I think that might actually be wrong. Is that each user should be a separate one certificate. And if you really wanted to share data with between users, that you use just the general sort of thing. So you could have like if you had a feed and you wanted multiple people to be able to post to it, you just give them all write permission or whatever. And I guess the question would be if I have a desktop and a phone, do I really want to have to like add each individual device? But there may be value in that too, because if somebody hacks your account, they can only use that one user device account, not, you know, and I generally assume that, like, in most cases, you're probably going to only have, well, I should not say that one device assumption is probably wrong for everybody now. Like, you've got your phone and a desktop, and maybe you just have a phone for some people. But you could even think about, say, Instagram, where I think you still have a pretty shit desktop experience. Um, but I could see where maybe you don't want to give the same access to things on your device or not. So, I don't know. I guess we don't have to make a decision on that now necessarily. The, the bigger question is is your uh, uh, so new client web. No. I don't I think that's this is actually right. Um is that where is this called? The two places. The email login code handler. It will create one if yeah. If there's no user ID. Oh yeah. it creates one when you're just automatically when you email the login code. This is an invite. Hmm. Uh, this is where they're so it looks up to email. Um, so I guess what I'm thinking about obviously is that this right here, um, new user, no. Wait, so the certificate is definitely a portion of the web thing. You do have to have a user, I think, but yeah. I think we can break this down though, where this is separate 'cause that's like general user stuff. And all this other stuff is application specific stuff. And the random alias different from the user ID. Um, Divided by user ID. How does that get in there? Oh. So how does this work? I guess I don't really need this. I'm not sure why it's not just deleted. Currently not doing the following. Oh, right. I don't know what I'm talking about not doing the following. Oh, so I guess I'm not doing them in that order, is what that's saying. I don't know, whatever. So basically, I think I've got to remove these two things. So that we're just gonna put the user ID in the fucking certificate. That way, conceivably, you could just roll without. What the fuck? Some weird. This is where I should be trying to. Shit. Hmm. Oh, wait. Are they saying you can only do one to one? But I think the overall point is probably valid in that in the context of what I'm saying is like you're partially saying a certificate is a device, it's device authentication, and then a higher level thing is what can this device or user access? And which then becomes a bunch of other stuff, like an account. Um, we don't need certificate revocation because we are on the same machine. Oh, I was assuming there had to be something out there about this. Oh, there you go. God, fuck off. Yeah, the Q movie, The Winged Serpent, is kind of like a Jaws in a way, but with a dragon-y thing. Although I don't think it actually, because it's like a hadn't breathe fire as far as I'm aware, but they do similar like very minimal shots of the actual like flying thing, similar to Jaws. So if you are going to use external things, you have to like map the fingerprint anyway. So you really just can't do that if you were going to allow, yeah, which I think you have to do. Like if you're going to just deploy something internally, you would do that too. Yeah, I think while using a like sort of third party certificate, client certificate isn't like hugely on the immediate list. I do think there's something that you, if someone has the public key, a certificate, they shouldn't know what user ID that actually maps to. I think. what? How do we? I was. We got a thing about taxes and got off on a fucking. How the fuck did that happen? So anyway, what the fuck happened there? Got totally lost in my mind. Um, the general point is the name in this doesn't fucking matter. It's not, we're not gonna, other than, you see it when you try to select your certificate is the main thing, it would seem. Um, so like remember yesterday I was like, oh, I don't have a function to just add a random thing, add a random number, and I'm like, the fuck was I thinking? Jeez. Okay, so anyway, so this stuff needs to be not in here, I think. Because I think when I do new client certificate, we do this, we do that, and then um anyway, fix all this. What should expiration be? This be what expires? Uh, time, whatever. Just stick it in the thing, creating a session. Because also, where is the session ID here? No, the user ID. I've got to actually get the user ID into this too. Update session. Uh, what? There's only two things there. What? 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 Set user ID. Does nobody know what this thing's called? Um, the fuck? What am I missing here? Well, if I search for this, it should show me. I would like to be able to just put the user ID in here as well. I feel like the problem is that it's here. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I remember now. This stuff, this login stuff was obviously some of the first stuff written. And then this was like sort of later put into this Webfoo stuff, into web. So, um, yeah, so there's right there where they're. So yeah, none of this should really be this. Let's see, none of this matters now. And definitely not going to put the user ID into the actual certificate. It's just going to have the rando ID, but we're really just going to use the fingerprint. Nothing else matters. Um, this needs to be able to take a user, I believe. Um, and so, hmm, we have some general problems with all of this now. Where I mean, I never redid this thing. Um, right. What is this doing? Oh, I try to find out what the redirect URL is. Um, so new client certificate. Although it definitely fixes some stuff if it's always that's a new user. So we're going to start with that then. We're going to create the user. Um, so somewhere in here we got a user ID. Some. Mm. All right, so that could set the user ID. So that means we create the new insert user. We got to do these things kind of. And we can do it after that. Um, oh, I bet random name is not in there, right? Um, what am I doing? I don't know how great that is, but it doesn't really matter. If it doesn't come back with them, you get a you don't understand what this is really doing. I guess you're just filling in whatever, and then you're just saying it's only this amount. That kind of, oh, and you already know it's empty, so So that's obviously not going to be coming into there. But also, I don't think this random alias bit really shouldn't be in there, I guess. I don't think. Not at this level, at least. No. I think this should be this, maybe. I don't think new user is a thing in there, so I really could probably just do this now. Uh, alias. This is this. Um, Also, I did that, and then I guess that I needed to do this. This is a thing, although, I mean, I don't think that's valid, actually. You're gonna have to, um, I don't know, or maybe it is. Maybe I just need to do both of these things. Oh no, I'm already loading the client certificate in there, and the session ID here is. Why would this not just be the request session ID now? So you don't even have to do that. So our session and the certificate is both set correctly after you create the new user for whatever that matters. Why was I sending the request in? Because of I'm lazy? uh, hmm. And what do I need? It's just if you want to supply an alias. New client certificate is gonna be new user web. And this will have to be, I don't know, whatever. Wait, I don't have to do that, right? This probably has the user alias right there. Hmm. Empty blob. So the user alias is, it would have to be empty because you're doing a fucking thing. However, yeah, so it's 32. Regardless, that means I don't have to actually allocate any of that, it would seem. So this is actually rec alias. But then also why I don't have to do that either. It's just in the rec. I'm not sure why I was passing in the request though. So I don't actually have to put this. It's in the request. So I need to other request where I guess you have the I don't know potentially invalid data, I guess, if it doesn't work. Um Basically my point is you can do random name user alias. which ultimately can't completely fail, I don't think. Like you're getting something. And that means this is just going to be the request user alias. And then this is gonna fill in the client fingerprint. We insert the user. We don't know what the email is. That is a massive problem. Oh no. Oh no. I think we have um I think that the email is like everything. Like you just can't not have an email. Shit. Hmm. So yeah. Fuck. Great. So the user is yeah, unique, not null. Fuck. Fuckity fuck. And what is this? The alias has to be unique and not null. So, in the parlance of the AI agent coder, this is a complex change to the requirements. Yeah, okay. I don't know what I was doing there. I got distracted reading this thing about what was that? Was it Claude Code? And I don't know, some shit about coding agents and context windows. Using Claude Code, session management, and 1 million context. Anyway, whatever. So that's disappointing news, I guess, is that this this is used as a unique identifier, and that is no longer the case. Oh, fucking A. Is that what I should do? So with my new decision to say that, one a certificate is a unique user. So your laptop would be a unique user and your phone would be a unique user. But you may or device. And then you may have um what? And those users or devices would have access to multiple accounts, which may be a thing they can do stuff. Or well, I guess you could put them in a group, and a group gets permissions. You assign all permission at the group level. Um, and you do like Linux with a user and group that are the same name. So every user would have a group. Although in this case, I don't think I would necessarily do that. But what I'm generally just saying is you would apply permissions at the group level. And if you needed to have a person in a group, well, that does mean you. I'd kind of like the account versus user, just sort of. I need to look up what the general usage of that is. Man, that's a good movie. Sorry, what are you doing? Okay. I'm gonna have to think about what to do about this whole problem. Conceivably, I was looking in front of me, but so really this just needs to be unique. And actually, if I'm gonna do the whole certificate as a user concept, or um, when you create a certificate, you're creating a user, and then you give that user permissions to access stuff that you want. um, Maybe with some defaults, but or the application can set the defaults. By default, you just have access to nothing. I wonder if I could get around this whole email problem by um, it just has to be unique and not null. So I could just, if it's a certificate to user, I could just put the fingerprint into this column. Um, I don't know what the downside of that would be. I mean, it's just, this is obviously just jamming in there. It doesn't give a shit what it is. Um, Here, the email is coming from the form. I guess it comes from the form in all cases. Yeah, I mean, I think there's some minimal checking, but mostly it's just like, yeah, whatever. Um, uh, Email. If it's empty, we do some error and then bail. Otherwise, we're normalizing the email, checking some basic stuff about it probably, and then looking it up by that email. So if you found one, you would then use that. Yeah, so does this mean you could just blow away this entirely and you actually just do this thing and you actually just say, like, this is this is this. And that would definitely not get blocked because this is a raw sort of thing. So, which is fine. And it means you just don't need this anymore. Not sure why we're not just redirecting to the login, to a login or whatever. Um, or what is the difference between join and login? Mostly, I don't think we have any concept of login, would be the point. I mean, it's just not a thing that you fucking do. So, what is it? You know, you're selecting your certificate when you connect, so you don't even have to do all that shit. Um, so anyway, um, can just delete all of this stuff. We don't have to do any of that anymore. I don't have to handle emailing anything anymore, which I think is kind of desirable to get away from email. But there's no universal replacement. Do need to be able to direct message people, I guess, because you're definitely going to need to be able to ping the admin if necessary. Um, like if you can't log in, you've got to be able to contact the admin. I wonder how you could do that. Well, I mean, I wonder how you could do that where you're not just having issues with spam. Because also we have the invite. Oh, it's another aspect I hadn't considered much. Oh, that's how you spell any of that. Is there something other than that? Is it only the invite add handler? Nope. Um, if there are any users and it's invite only, which is what it's going to default to. Plus, you just like, I didn't like this really. So, user by user by. I don't know about looking up the users. Fire session. Oh, yeah, it's all in session. That can't be right. Yeah, the user doesn't get updated until you log in. Which is what I was just looking at, wasn't it? So that's like an extra step that I wouldn't have to do. Okay, I gotta eat or whatever. It's break time. Oh, this going.